show on Facebook as well as YouTube Live. We are happy you all can join us. It is Thursday, March 25th. I'm Danielle Wiggins, joined with the Go Morning Show team, Dave Jadowski, Holly Strano, Jasmine Monroe, Mo Kyle, and Austin Love. All of us here today. So excited. Today we're going to be talking about like what vitamins you need. Mo has a great story about that, so she's going to fill us in. And the special day today.
I want to stay here for that story. I'm so interested in that.
Yes, you have to go do radio. We'll get to you in just a second. And Jasmine is talking about Michael Stanley Day today, and of course the rest of us will chime in. But first, Holly, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts today. Oh, you have to fill us in on what's going on.
Okay, so tonight, all right.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, so high wind watches and new is the high wind warnings that have been issued. So that is a new thing from since you've gone to bed. They right now do include Cleveland, West East suburbs, and areas mainly west. So from Sandusky south into Mansfield, Medina is included, but the rest of you are all under high wind watches. So you're all included, but they don't kick in until this evening. You'll notice the winds increasing throughout the day, but we're not going to be dealing with 60-mile-an-hour winds during the day. It's tonight. And honestly, the strongest will be during our morning commute tomorrow. It looks like projections at that point will be 50 to 60 miles an hour. That's besides any kind of rain or storms. So winds like that can absolutely produce power outages and things like that. So we'll have you covered. It's going to be another mild day. The winds will be increasing. I mean, it was pretty crazy yesterday. You know, we hit 74 yesterday. We'll be in the low 70s today. You'll notice more cloud cover rolling in ahead of this system and showers, thunderstorms. We could have some stronger storms. But again, even outside of any stronger storms, the winds are going to be very impactful. So
don't bring my umbrella, just bring my raincoat.
You would literally fly off like Mary Poppins.
Okay, so 2 hands on the wheel tomorrow if you have to drive like us, how we have to go in at different places. So Holly, of course, will be helping us through that tomorrow. If you have any questions about the forecast, go ahead and put it in the comment section and I'll ask Holly and I will respond to you all later today. Thanks, Holly, for that. And today is a special day. Again, it's March 25th, and it also would have been a Cleveland legend, the rock legend, Michael Stanley. It would have been his 73rd birthday. Jason already chimes in and says, "This town is my town." And of course, we are showing that it is Michael Stanley's town today because, Jasmine, today's Michael Stanley Day. What's planned to honor him?
All right, so many stations, radio stations in the Cleveland area are going to pretty much connect at 10:35 exactly. If you know Michael Stanley, you know that his song In the Heartland, he states in the first line of his song, it's 10:35 in the Heartland. So that's why they chose that specific time, if you were wondering. Yes, they will be playing all of the greatest hits, the rock hits, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame will be honoring him. They will have artifacts down there, some of his, I think it's his guitar, new idol music downtown, you know, those big giant cube boxes that they have downtown Cleveland. Michael Stanley Band will be playing on those all day long. So you'll definitely get a chance to rock out throughout the day. But today, something that I just got a chance to think about, I was talking to Dave this morning, just saying like how Cleveland is just so Cleveland. I can't describe it. I'm from Pittsburgh, we all know, but it's like something about Clevelanders that they just stick together. I'm like, who's Michael Stanley? Like, who is this guy? And everyone's like, you don't know Michael Stanley? Listen to the song. He, you know, was on the radio for 30 years. He would have been 73 today. So it's just like diehard Michael Stanley fans. And every news station was out in front of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame today. So you know it's a big deal when we're all on the same page, even in the media. So it was really nice to see everyone and check in. But it just always amazes me how Clevelanders just like stick together and then they just rock out.
Jasmine and Austin, you all are becoming Clevelanders as well. I know I saw your post, Austin, yesterday about 3 years. And who would have ever thought Austin Love will be here for 3 years? And we have adopted both of you two because we love you.
He had such a rough start. We didn't think he was going to make it.
Oh, get out of here.
Made it like that, though.
When you first met Austin, when you first met Austin, Mo, what did you think?
I thought he was just a mini Will Ewick.
Yes, me too. I was like,
It took me forever to not call him Will.
yeah, because they looked alike.
I was like super pregnant at the time. So he started and I was like, cool, see you guys in a few months. And then I got to know him.
People still call me Will.
What about you?
Do they? Do they?
How did this become? This is a Michael Stanley tribute. How did this become an Austin Live? What the heck is going on?
Hold on. No, I do. Hold on,
Some
before we
respect
get
to
back
Michael
to
Stanley.
that. Austin, though, seriously, do people still call you Will?
Not as bad anymore, but like I was here for like 2 years and I was doing a radio hit one time and they're like, and Will Ewick is on. And I'm like,
You know, when I actually met Austin the first time was when my daughter did Kids Run the Bases, and Austin was announcing them. You know, we all get a chance to do that over at Progressive Field. And he comes up to me, he's like, hey, I'm Austin Love. And I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, an Indians intern is going to be announcing my my daughter. No, I'm kidding. That was actually the first time I met Austin. So even though we had worked together, we were on different trains, right? Because I used to work the night shift.
Oh yeah, Dave.
And look at us now, Dave.
You do sports, Dave.
and
We are gonna go back to Michael Stanley. We get derailed when we talk to each other because hey, we're a family here on the morning show. But I do have Jason again. He says that he likes all Michael Stanley band songs, but besides the obvious of his hits, he really likes Heartland, in which Jasmine, you're referring to that about, you know, why we're doing that 1035, or all of the radio stations are doing the 1035 tribute to him. Hey, Dave, do you have a favorite Michael Stanley song?
Well, I mean, our town, you know, this is our town. I mean, that, you know, I'm not going to sit and say that I have memorized every Michael Stanley song, nor did I really get a chance to get to know him, unfortunately. I met him before. I didn't personally know him, but anyone that I've talked to that knows Michael Stanley, and I've heard a lot of stories about this, and I mentioned it briefly on the air, is that he was never one of those celebrities that just pushed you off. He was one of those guys that, you know, you would go talk to him and he would talk to you for a long period of time about, he was a big Indians fan, about baseball and different things besides just music. You know, he was just, from what I understand, just one of the great guys, and he's surely going to be missed. I know for me personally, you know, growing up listening to him on NCX, there's just going to be a hole there. So, I mean, not just his music, not just being a superstar as a musician, but I mean, so many people know him as the DJ on NCX, and I mean, he was the voice, right? And I have so many memories of listening to him on NCX as well. So no doubt this is a big loss. And the last thing before we end this topic, I just want to say, you know, Jasmine, one thing about Michael Stanley and Clevelander is we just bond together. And, you know, this town has come a long way. And I think part of what it is that you're trying to bring out is that Cleveland has gotten ripped on so much in our life that we have a bond to try to support each other and say, hey, no, this is a great place. You know, you see it on the Tonight Show and all the national, you know, we get made fun of, right? So whenever you see a Michael Stanley or a Drew Carey or someone become big and famous and they support our town, we fall in love with those people because they're kind of our speaker, of sorts to show that, hey, Cleveland's awesome. So I think that's part of it. You know, we just bond together.
Yeah, I diddled that, Dave. Very well put. And as you said, we are moving on to another topic as well. So again, continue to put your Michael Stanley tributes in the comment section, both on YouTube and on Facebook. But Mo, you had a really good story today, and I know it's not in the description, but I want to really talk about that for the last 2 to 3 minutes that we have. And Ryan, who is our executive producer of digital, if you can put Mo's, Mo, do you have your web story up yet?
No, I do not. Ryan,
okay.
Yeah, we weren't
sure
we will go back.
It
was going to air today, so so I'll put it up in a second. But basically, I don't know about you. I always hear different things about vitamins. You go down in the farm, you know, you're in the pharmacy, you see aisles and aisles of vitamin A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like, it's just like, wait, what am I supposed to be taking? And like, is it a waste of money? Because we'll hear that supplements are a waste of money. So I talked to a doctor at the Cleveland Clinic about which ones are the most important for our health. Like, if she had to tell us, this is it, this is what you need to be taking every day. This one shouldn't be a surprise. Vitamin D. We don't get enough from the sun. Basically, nobody gets enough from the sun. And then she said that it's fortified in foods that you probably aren't getting enough of, like milk is vitamin D fortified, but none of us are drinking gallons and gallons of milk. So she says vitamin D is very important, but it's also important to get your levels checked to make sure that you're not getting too much of it. You got to see how much. I mean, anybody who gets it checked is usually vitamin D deficient. So vitamin D is a big one. She said zinc is another one that is really important to help keep our immunity and our health going. She says you can get that by eating oysters, but how many of us are really sitting down and eating oysters every day? All of these are in nuts and seeds. So everything I'm listing right now, nuts and seeds seem to be like the power food if you can incorporate that into your diet. Fats help your body absorb all of this. So Dave was asking me this morning about cod liver oil because I mentioned it in the piece, and any sort of omega and getting those healthy fats, those help. I feel like I'm running against the gun here. She mentioned turmeric, which we didn't really get to go into a ton. I talked about it with the superfood salad that Anna Haruva's made, but turmeric, if you can get that, she said that they prescribe that for people who have really bad arthritis because it's an anti-inflammatory. So if you battle any joint pain or arthritis, getting turmeric in high doses is actually therapeutic, and you can start to see some relief there. I have a whole bunch of notes, but was that 2 to 3 minutes? Did I make it?
Yep. And
all right.
Watercress. You didn't say about the watercress.
The watercress. I know that was the biggest surprise. I asked her, what foods would you eat? Give me a top 3 foods that you would eat every day. And she said berries is number one. She would just like blueberries, especially anything dark. And then she said, and watercress. And I was like, watercress. I mean, I see that in the greens aisle that we go to, but I don't know. I don't eat watercress. And when I told Anna Haruvis this, she's a chef that makes healthy juices for all of our sports teams, all of our professional local sports teams. She was even like, watercress, like I use that as a decoration on plates. And then when she was looking into it, just the nutrients that watercress packs, I mean, we're talking, it's up there with like power food kale. It's one of those, it's got a bite to it, sort of like arugula, if you think of that. But she dressed it up with oranges and cashews, and then did like a turmeric and lemon salad dressing on there.
So Mo, I'm gonna have to jump in because then the directors are going to be calling you and Dave.
Cut me off.
It is time to go, but I will let you know. Chris had a question about if he's going to need a generator. Well, Holly, she's sitting right next to me. She says possibly because of power outages. So please be aware tonight. Make sure your phones are charged and everything so you can get to where you need to go this morning.
I was going to say, like, some people tend to live in areas that don't lose power.
Uh-huh.
I'm getting the knock.
Okay. Yes. We are running against the gun. See you, Mo. See you, Dave. And thank you all for joining us on this On the Go. If you're like, who is she talking to? That was Holly off to the side, just trying to say, yes, be prepared for power outages if you live in an area that has power outages. Thanks, Jasmine. Thanks, Austin, for sticking around. And Austin, I have something for you. Jason, he says that you look more like Johnny Bravo than Will. And I think that's who you were for
That's who Halloween. I was for Halloween. Really quick, I'll say this really quick. So going back, Mo said if you have COVID, start taking zinc, because when I had COVID, I lost all my taste sense, and that was like the worst part I had, and I brought it back much quicker. So I know she mentioned something about zinc in her thing, and I wanted to get that out there. It was a lifesaver because that was the weirdest part about having COVID. So take your zinc if you have COVID and lose your taste and smell.
So you take it when you have COVID?
If you have COVID, it helps get that taste and smell back.
Yeah, I mean,
you can take it before too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but that's like one thing that Allison and I were taking, and I got my taste and smell back within like a week, where some people it takes like months.
Yeah. I actually know someone who they had COVID a long time ago, probably in November or so, and they said that they still cannot taste or smell it.
It was crazy. It was like the worst. It was the worst part of having COVID, honestly, for me. I didn't have like that harsh symptoms, but not being able to taste or smell things. And then when it started coming back, everything tasted really bad.
Really?
So it was it was weird. Yeah, it was like a really weird sensation that, like, I kid you not, I did a taste test with Allison, a blind taste test, where I put up beer, wine, avocado oil, water, and whiskey. and she doesn't like whiskey. She thought the whiskey was water. Like she thought all of them were water.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
It's wild.
Wow.
So take your zinc, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, thank you for that, Austin, firsthand experience. Well, we appreciate all of you for watching On the Go for Thursday, March 25th. We will see you tomorrow morning, Friday.